أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan. In the name of Allah, most beneficent, most merciful. My name is Muhammad Solomon, and welcome to Islamic Action TV, Guerrilla-Minded Productions. All praise is due to Almighty Allah. Brothers and sisters, thank you once again for tuning in to Islamic Action TV. I greet you with the Muslim words of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa ta'ala wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, many of you have been watching Islamic Action TV. Many of you have been inspired by Islamic Action TV. Many of you are anticipating every single video that we're releasing. Brothers and sisters, we cannot tell you how happy we are to know that you have shown such gratitude to the very humble work that we are doing. We are just trying our best as brothers and sisters to help to raise the intellect, the scholarship, and the ability to do for self for our black African nation. So we know we have not been given the ajr and the crowned with golden or silver turbans, and not being the most elected in the heritage community have not come to us and said, oh, you know, we think your brothers are doing X, Y, and Z, your sisters do X, Y, and Z, and you are now a sheikh, you are now a man of renown in the community, so go forth and say, oh, with our blessing, such and such and such. No, brothers and sisters. Our only ajr is your respect and your love. Our only ajr is our community acknowledging the work that we're doing to uplift our nation. Our only ajr is the respect we are seeing from the sisters, the black African sisters in our community, who are realizing that now there is a group of men giving us such love and saying to you, it's about time you brothers stood on post. It's about time you brothers got on that wall and defended your community. And that we as the black African woman, we are the most valuable commodity in your community, and we are the diamonds of your community, and we are the future of your community, and without us you can't get to Jannah, to heaven. So it's about time this group, Islamic Action, doing this work came about. So we've been getting so many emails from beautiful sisters all around the world. I'd like to take this occasion and thank you for that. And also for the brothers who pledge that support. We are growing daily in the support of people who want to join Islamic Action, to be part of Islamic Action, and to be involved in Islamic Action. And to think we just started off with 2 men and a camera, or 2 men and a telephone. Or as the rapper would say, innit? 2 MCs and a microphone. But brothers and sisters, this work would not be done if not for the teachings we believe of the Ahlul Bayt. If not for the Holy Quran. If not for that man, the most purified of men, the man that was sent to you and I to liberate us, to free our minds over 1400 years ago, the most intelligent, the most sublime, the most loving, the most just, that man no other than the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet Muhammad is a blessing to mankind, and we all hope to emulate this most wonderful of man, one of the best of Allah's creations, by the grace of Almighty Allah. But brothers and sisters, gratitude aside, platitudes aside, work need to be done aside, I want to touch on today the most foulest, cancerous growth in our community. And that is the disease of racism. The disease of the heritage community towards brothers and sisters like myself, who when they return to knowledge of self and accepted the covenant of deen that Allah placed in our hearts before even our births, and we understood that, and we realized now that Islam was the long lost treasure in our hearts, they are now trying to obfuscate this and call us weaver. They're now trying to use racism to justify their terrible evil practices. Today, brothers and sisters, there are many brothers of African Caribbean descent who may be looking for a wife, who may be looking to the heritage community for a wife, or in their own communities for a wife. But what they find brothers and sisters, is nothing but cold, white-hearted racism from the parents of some of the sisters who may want to marry a black man. You find that among sisters who are even born in England, maybe from Southeast Asian extraction, maybe they're from Iranian extraction, or they're from Pakistani extraction, or Syrian or Arab extraction, right? You will find that they are willing, because they're brought up in a multicultural society, to marry a man who is of black skin. There's nothing wrong with that, because the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, was of black skin. And so was Adam alayhi salam, he was of black skin. Imam Ali alayhi salam described as Shadid al-Adama in Arabic, according to the hadith. So we know that the word Adam itself means intensely black, dark in complexion. So Allah used the earth, the dark earth, to create the first man, and then he put the nafsu, the spirit, into this being. So this practice of racism in the hearts of the Muslim community, or the heritage Muslim community, has to be stamped out, brothers and sisters. It is a cancerous disease. To tell your daughter that she cannot marry a man because of the color of his skin, it is pure and utter evil. Why? Not because I say so, not because you think so, but because the Quran says so. Let us go to the Holy Quran to back up this point, to show you your filthy, dirty, unacceptable practice of racism that is eating into your heart. And we can see it today when you have your own masjid, which you call the Pakistani mosque, or the Iranian mosque, or the Iranian community center. They're nothing, you call them a mosque, but it's nothing but a community center run by a particular family. And then you set the tone, and then you decide who can and can't come, who leads the khutbah, who leads the salat. Ain't never no so-called revert leading salat. So it's one of your people. And even if you get a so-called revert masjid, or place where the reverts are the so-called predominant ones, they're so inferior feeling, they go and get one of you pale so-called people to lead the salat, which is like a black body with a white head. A creature, a freak of nature, something that is not normal or natural. But this is because of the inferiority that the so-called weaver is made to feel by you and your lives. Let's turn to the Quran. In chapter 35 of Fatir, in verse 27, Allah says in the Quran, I read the English first, seest thou not that Allah sends down rain from the sky? In Arabic, Alam tara an Allah anzala min as-sama'i ma'a. That means the sama'i means from the sky. With it we then bring out produce of various colors. فَأَخْرَجْنَا بِهِ سَمَارَاتٍ مُخْتَلِفًا أَلْوَانُهَا. So he produces many colors. And in the mountains are tracks white and red. وَمِنَ الْجِبَالِ جُدَادٌ بِزُنْ وَحُمْرٌ مُخْتَلِفٌ. Of various shades of color and black intense in hue. Alwanuha wa garabibu sud. Sud. The word sud means black and intense. So Allah is telling you in this chapter and this verse that He created, even in nature, things of different color. Even in the mountains, you see when the water runs out of the mountain and the sun hits it, the water, the streams, there's different colors running in the stream. So you can see white, you can see red, you can see various shades of color of black, tense hues from white to extreme black. Let's go on. And so amongst men and the crawling creatures and cattle are they of various colors. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ وَدَابِّ وَالْأَنْعَامِ مُخْتَلِفُونَ. Those who truly fear Allah amongst His servants, who have knowledge, for Allah is exalted in might, oft forgiving. Alwanu kadhalik, innama yakhshallaha min ibadihil ulama inna Allah azurun azizun ghafur. Allah is most exalted in his knowledge. So Allah is telling us here that he has created all human beings from one Adam. And like the mountain, when the stream comes out from the top of the mountain and runs down into the rest of into the ocean, that one tract of water, it flows, but it's one source, but it gives rise to different colors within it, but they all meet and end up in the same source, the same river, the same stream. Because we all live on this planet. We all breathe the same air on this planet, and we're all going to die the same way. So when you tell your sister, to tell your daughter, don't marry a black man, or to specifically tell your son, don't marry a black woman, this is nothing but racism. And many of you sisters, you who claim that your parents are racist, but then when you find a black brother or a black sister to marry, now I'm not saying that people need to marry out of their nations, but what I'm saying, if it does happen and you fall in love with someone of another nation, don't let racism be a factor to it. And many of you so-called sisters who are born in society and brothers who are born in society from heritage Muslims who are racist, you claim they're racist, but you're not. But then you don't mind tagging the sister or brother along. You don't mind pretending to be engaged to them. You don't mind pretending that you like them. But when the crunch comes, when the cookie crumbles, you crumble. You are off. Or you find some excuse. Or when it's you. Or it's not me. It's not you. It's me. Or I'm not worthy enough for you. You don't mind playing the game and maybe getting a few little physical feelings out of it. But deep down, that racism has penetrated your heart. Deep down, if Bilal radiallahu anhu walked into your house and said, I am Bilal, the Muwaddin of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I want to marry your daughter, you probably still use your parents to run him out of the house. Because you have a racism in your heart. You know who you are. You know that deep down in your heart, you can't get over your family's racism. And you know you need to do the job. You need to change their hearts. You need to change their minds. You need to start dealing with that racism in your community. Because we know, in particular in the South Asian community, we know you got skin lightening. We know you don't like dark skins. In fact, there was an Asian program in Pakistan which talked about the Siddhis or the darker Pakistanians, and it would make mockery of them. The actors would black up their faces. The actors would wear afro wigs, and it was a comedy, and they would make mockery of the black actors or the so-called black Kodazanj. So in your country, we know, even in India, the whole untouchable system and the caste system, when the original Indians, the Hindu Kush was in India, invaded by the lighter skinned Iranians, they set up this system of racism, of Hinduism, and it's the whole Brahmin system, and they placed the darker Indian on the bottom of it. And we know, so this idea that when the European went over there, the East India Company, and took over India and destroyed the Mughal Empire, they just continued this system to make sure the darker one was oppressed. But then they told you, whenever you meet a darker skinned, not just Indian, but a darker skinned person of African descent, for the divide and conquer, you must hate them. So many of you Asians, many of you Iranians, many of you Arabs, the pale ones, you lighter ones, you know who you are. You have to stop practicing this filthy thing of racism. And you so-called born British Muslims, Pakistanis, Iranians and Arabs, you younger sisters, if you like a brother, then stand up and be a Muslim and say, I want to marry this man, and stand by him and stop the wishy-washy, feeble, two-faced, backhanded, little limp-wristed approach that you're doing. If you're Muslim, then be Muslim. If you love the person, then stand up and fight for them. I speak to too many brothers who, if they've ever married a Southeast Asian woman, the marriage might even last 1, 2, 3 years, but then the parents cut them off, they don't talk to the kids, and all the time, even if if there's any issues between the black brother and the sister, the rest of the family try to undermine the relationship. And then eventually, if there's a divorce, the black brother might not even see his children again. This is because there's a weakness and there's a cancer in the heart of Muslims. And I've just shown you in the Quran that there is one race, there is one nation. And we need to understand that we as the new Muslims, ourselves, these ones of us who are returning to our fitra, we must not have the diseases of the heart these people have. And we must not think we're limited. Now, I'm not saying, you should not marry your own woman, because our women need marrying. Our women need family, they need men in the house. But what we're saying, for those exceptions, those certain men who feel or maybe attracted to another nation, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you understand you don't lose your mind. There end up being some coconut sellout Uncle Tom. You know what I mean? Like we see all these so-called celebrities and actors and rappers who won't go mix their seed with someone else, but don't have an understanding or an idea to make sure that if they have an offspring of that relationship, that child's grounded in his blackness, grounded in his culture, grounded in his religion, and grounded in his history. So, brothers and sisters, this has been an important announcement. This is an announcement, brothers, that may save your life. I'm asking you to do the work. Don't just look at me and watch me. Get up off your backside if you're looking. Turn around if you're watching this with the rest of your Asian family who are maybe racist, and you confront them and challenge them. And you stand up for yourself and stand up as a Muslim. Why are you a Muslim if you're not going to stand up and speak the truth? Prophet ﷺ spoke the truth when the whole of the Arab world was against him. But he was on the path of righteousness. So as long as you're on the path of righteousness, you will never go astray. So brothers and sisters, I thank you for listening. I thank you for viewing this. And as I greeted you in peace, I leave you in peace. From me, Muhammad Solomon, until next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa ta'ala wa barakatuh.